So I was going over Peter today. I listened to it over and over again. And in my spirit, I don't think Peter wrote this. And I used to not care and say it doesn't matter if he wrote it or not, because we're not supposed to put our trust in men. We know for a fact Peter was destined to go astray. That's why Jesus kept saying, feed my lamb, feed my sheep, feed my lamb, whatever. And then he got on him. He said that when you're young, you went where you wanted. When you get old, somebody's gonna, or you're gonna reach out your hand. I personally think it's when the angel broke him out of jail, because the angel broke the things off his hand. He said he's gonna reach out his hand and another's going to gird him. So then this is when I believe the angel told him to gird up and take him where he doesn't want to go. And then that as soon as the angel did this and took him out of jail, I think he fell away for a little while. And then Jesus reminded him, follow me. If he was already dead, how could he follow him? Okay, so that didn't make any sense to me. That's why I don't put my trust in what the men say in the Bible. I know they're just giving their testimonies. The testimony I put my trust in is the Father and the Son. And the only reason I put my testimony or faith in the word of the Son is because he came in the Father's testimony the same way the prophets that were verified did also. That doesn't mean they were all knowing, but when it says that this came from God, I pay attention. And even like in Jeremiah 8:8, the Father said that the scribes were going to write lies in these books. If you go interpret it yourself, it's books. So, and Jesus also said that the law and the prophets were until John. I'm taking that as John the Baptist. I think that's verified somewhere else. So I'm real skeptical of what anyone says. And after studying this today, I'm actually even starting to question Revelations, because this was an angel. And although the angel didn't appear to whatever John this was, I just noticed a lot of the same verbiage in what Paul says and what this angel says. And Paul was serving an angel, which I know was the false Christ. And I know that it was written, and the devil knew that Paul was going to eventually be exposed. So I don't know if he tried to get ahead of that and just bring people fear by writing Revelations or what. I've been studying, Matthew 23, 24, how Jesus was saying, about the end times and about that it was going to be like in the days of Noah, and people were going to be eating, drinking, giving in marriage. It didn't say that we'd be out in some FEMA camps and we'd all have marks on us. And that to me would be too obvious. But I'm a person, I could be wrong. I don't trust I don't even want to say it because I don't want to ban my bid. This shot thing that's going around, I don't trust it at all. And I just today started questioning Revelations. The reason I always liked Revelations is because it outed Paul and it was correcting what Paul taught, the lies Paul taught. But then the devil is so crafty and sneaky. When Yasha said, let no one deceive you, I think about that. I also think about when he gave the parable and he said the last person he was sending was his son. I don't know, a parable. So I'm thinking maybe that was the last, and not to trust anything else because it's doing violence to the kingdom. I don't know. Don't trust me. Study yourself. Like I said, I've been praying about that all day. I haven't gotten a definite answer. But there's some things that, some same wording in Revelations, that whatever angel this was or whoever this was talking, it has too much Paul verbiage in it, which always scares me. But then maybe that's just a coincidence. I don't know. But I do believe that Peter definitely did not write all this. And whoever wrote this was trying to verify Paul. And we just take it here. Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ. This is Paul all day long. Paul, an apostle of Jesus Christ. All day long. Now, this bondman thing, James wrote this too. So I don't know if Paul was copying James here or else James' stuff was tampered with. I'm kind of thinking that Paul was just copying James. I don't know though. Paul, an apostle, not of men, or whatever. Paul, you know you lying. Actually, I don't know if he knows he's lying because he probably was really deceived by this angel. I don't know. Paul, an apostle of Jesus Christ, you a lie. And then here's this bondman again. So I don't know. Like I said, I think he might have just been copying James because what he did do is he stole other real the real words of God and the real prophets, and then he would twist them and he would throw stuff in there. He would throw truth in there to kind of bewitch us. But anyways, I'm not going to go through all of it. So that's one thing. This sojourner right here, this is from Hebrews. I went and looked through the entire New Testament, and there's only Hebrews and then Peter's writings. That's a clue to me. Go through all of them. Okay, this sanctification of the Spirit. This is Paul, and then supposedly Peter. And that's in the whole New Testament. And that's right here, sanctification of the Spirit. It's just too many Paul wording. Like Paul has he literally put his fingerprint on here. Even though people say he didn't write Hebrews, whether he did or someone else did, it was definitely the evil ones, the wicked ones that slipped in unaware and perverted the grace of God, just like it says in Jude 1:4. I'm not trusting it at all. The sprinkling of the blood, I looked for this in the New Testament, and guess who said it? Hebrews. It's only Hebrews and then this and Peter. So I'm not trusting any of this. This is just too much. I don't believe in coincidences. So this grace to you and peace, this is Paul all day long. And we're supposed to believe that right here, grace to you and peace, we're supposed to believe that Peter's just so happened to just talk just like Paul. I'm not buying it. Grace to you and peace. Look, all this Paul. And see, this is what scares me. It's also in Revelations. This is why I'm beginning to wonder, is this angel in Revelations a good angel or a bad angel? I know the devil knew from the writings that, God was going to wake people up and they were going to know who Sheol was, because it says this in Isaiah, I think 29. So since he knew that Paul was going to be, exposed, did he go ahead and get ahead of it and expose them in there somewhat and then throw his own stuff in there? I don't know. I personally don't trust angels, but it could be legit. I don't know. This is the first day I've ever even had those thoughts. So I could be completely wrong. I don't know, but what I do know is I trust what comes out the Father and the Son's mouth, and that's about it. What else do we have? Oh, this incorruptible thing. That's Paul all day long. Right here. I don't trust this. I could probably do this all day. It's so much. It's ridiculous. And I never had a problem with the revelation of Jesus Christ, but just so happened in the New Testament, it's only in Paul's writings, and then supposedly Peter all Paul and then Revelations. Like I said, this is what made me skeptical of Revelations today. It had not near as much as the others did of Paul, but it does have some Paul verbiage in there, which scared me. Um, and I know who Paul was. Paul was the enemy, the Antichrist. So what, and I've seen just through Paul's writing how he bewitches people is he almost tells on himself, but then hides himself, but gives you part of the truth. And just like he said, the devil comes like an angel of light, and the servants like servants of Jesus or whatever, something like that. That is like 100% him, but that also is how he causes people to trust him. It's a form of witchcraft. And then we have here, in First Peter, be subject to your husbands. That's the same thing Paul was saying, and it's nowhere else. So there's a lot more, but I don't want to make this video real long. What really worried me is when he was talking about to be subject to the governing authorities, but yet he's also the one that said that it's better for us to obey God than man. So I believe that he didn't write most of this. And if I don't know if the whole thing was made up, but if I would believe Paul's writings, I would go to the ones outside of the canon where he's like Clementine homilies, where he's outing Paul and saying, well, if you were really an apostle, you wouldn't be like hating on us. I don't know. I have a video where another lady did a real good job of it. I also know there's scripture where he's warning and saying that Paul perverted his writings. Well, that's what I got from it, and saying to be very careful not to give them to people that haven't, been walking and doing right with God for so many years. Because his writings have been perverted. So anyway, that's the end of this video. God bless y'all. Okay, so I did not post this video because I prayed about it, just because I put some stuff of Revelations in there. So I'm going to go ahead and post it, but I want to just kind of make a disclaimer here. Now, what I feel possibly could have happened with Revelations is maybe the scribes distorted some things to make it sound more Pauline, to make Paul fit in there, because that's what they did with a lot of the other writings, especially like with Peter. And I think the verbiage, and also, even it's almost like we had to have a warning in Revelation saying, like, do not add to or take away from. And I noticed that I think God allowed this so we could study and see what it is, because he already knew things were going to be added to it, taken away from it. And I almost feel like not only it was kind of to throw us off, like not to give us the full details and to throw us off a little bit, but I definitely think it needs to be studied. And I'm not going to say that it's not true or anything like that. I just definitely think that it has been perverted, and it definitely needs to be looked over and studied, and for us to have the Holy Spirit lead us when reading it and studying it. So that's all I'm going to say about that, because I don't know. There is some definite things that I don't think exactly match up, and there's a fear opponent to it. All I know is God told me, as long as I love what he loves and hate what he hates, I don't have nothing to worry about. And it talks about the end times in the Bible. And it's literally, yes, yeah, Yahshua does say that we're going to, go into the wilderness and stuff like that. And it talks about the desolation of abomination. So, sorry it's late, I'm tired. Anyways, so I feel we don't have nothing to worry about. And The same way that he watched over his people, he's going to watch over them in the end times. He's going to watch over the righteous. That's how I feel about that. He's going to protect his. He's going to give them smoke by day and a cloud to protect them by night. He's going to feed them. If there's no food available, he's going to make sure they have food. He's going to feed them his manna, whatever he does. I don't know what he's going to do, but I ain't going to worry about it. He told me I'd be okay, and I believe that. So I just want people to be cautious when they read Revelations. But that's all I want to say. I don't want to lead anyone astray. Just go by the Holy Spirit. I definitely do think things have been added there, maybe to make other people fit or to make their little agenda fit. So I wish I had the original scrolls, but I don't. So God bless y'all.